So here's an update on the King Hauler. As of now, I've gotten some lights for it. I've ordered from PMD Precision Model Distribution, or also their website's called GardenTruckin.com. I've gotten these polished half fenders for it. Coming soon, either this week or next. I got some different tires coming because these ones are, in real life, they're steer tires for a semi, or they'd be considered trailer tires. And they don't really have as much grip as I'd like for it to have. I don't really do any pulling with it, but even without any weight, it likes to diff out basically. Where this tire and then that tire likes to just spin. Since the last video, I've gotten my lights all hooked up. I've gotten a light kit for it. It's not a Tamiya kit, it's just one I got from my hobby shop. But I've got them all in. I don't have the front ones because I plan on replacing the bumper. But as you can see, I've got basically all the lights I need on it. The front bumper's eventually going to get replaced with one of probably PMD's bumpers, either the big Texas square one or the one with LEDs across the bottom. I'm not sure yet. I've also gotten a hood ornament, which I will light up. It's the little pig, basically, with wings. Got that mounted. This here's my trailer I got for it. It's just an old cheapo trailer, basically. I also ordered something for it from PMD because it used to, since it wasn't really made for a hobby grade RC truck like this one, I had to get a kingpin for it, which, let me get this stood up and I'll shine some light on it. But as you can see, it's the kingpin for this, and you can see originally on there where all the scuff marks are, that's where the original kingpin was. Had a plastic peg with a screw holding it to a square peg, and basically what I did was that peg was able to be removed after I got the pin off, and I used the screw that, or bolt that it came, or yeah, screw that it came with there, and I screwed it into the square peg, and then I shoe glued it in place, so as it would basically allow it to stay in there and use it as the trailer. But with that, it hooks up real nice compared to the one. It still doesn't sit up high enough. The landing gear too short. But with this pin, it just slides right on like that, and it's got a nice grip on it because it's a Tamiya kingpin basically that they sell. The controller I'm using is a Spectrum DX5E. I know they say if you want to get an MFU and stuff like that, you're supposed to have an analog one, but I don't know if I'll get it. I've been looking online at just sound kits basically. I found some decent ones that look nice, or they have nice sound to them, and they have a more realistic sound. But the only thing is with this trailer, I think it's shorter than the actual Tamiya trailer. Is if I get it to say this far, the truck won't catch back up, and it'll basically just jackknife. It won't come back to straight whenever backing. So, but with that, basically, it's one of the issues I have. Eventually I'll get an actual trailer. Don't know if it'll be a Tamiya, but I got my decals on. I didn't go with all the decals that they have. I didn't care for some of them. But I basically went with what would be on a normal rig, a basic decal set, like truck number, company, and then the mandatory lettering on the side telling them what all stuff they have. I also have the decals down here and the fuel decals. The one thing I don't like about these fenders is whenever I first got the kit, or got the setup, it had to It's supposed to go flat on top of the frame, like the brackets go right up on here. And basically I had to bend the tabs out for it, as you can see here. And the only thing I don't like is the brackets themselves weren't actually symmetrical. So this fender here sits up, or sits lower than this fender. And with the trailer I have, it's gotten some scratching from the screws holding it together, which is one thing I don't like. And then with this kit, I don't really like that the fifth wheel sits forward when in real life it's supposed to sit back like the normal fifth wheel. That, and I keep having issues of stuff it didn't say needed Loctite coming loose, like my mirrors, they keep coming loose, their screws keep backing themselves off. I've already had to replace, underneath the front, I had to replace a bolt and nut because it didn't say it needed Loctited, and yet it lost it for the dampener. Basically, the screw that goes through here on the front holding this together. And then I had a screw on the axle on this side. It came loose from its nut. But with this light kit, I can actually change it from my controller. What it does. Or I can accidentally hit the throttle and have it drive away. And not mean to. But, it doesn't really have it set up right because for this it's meant for like a 1/10 scale car, so I basically had to use it for my semi. So basically the right turn signals are here, the left turn signals are up in the front, I believe. It's hard to tell which ones. I'm not absolutely sure. Eventually I'm going to get someone to solder it for me to where it's alright. It's really the only thing I have wrong. But I can change this to where it has a steady blink. They got somewhat of a police blinkage.
Whip, 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 whip.
This, they basically, they fade in and out. Another more realistic, more, police strobe, I guess you would call it. And then there's the full on. And then there's basically, back to normal. And then depending on if I have it hooked up to the receiver or not, or depending on how I have it hooked up, it'll actually do headlights and brake lights and stuff like that and the turn signals. But at the moment I can't really do that stuff because, well, lights are all goofy. Like whenever I turn them, if I turn them off, that very far right one there, it stays on the roof lights. So I just got to get some soldering done to get that fixed. So as you can see, it's basically, if I do any light patterns, it looks as though it's got hazards on. And then there's the blinkage. And normally I just drive it around with this. So, but hopefully this week I'll have my new tires for it. I'm still using the same rims, they're fine. But I definitely wanted to get new tires. So this is my King Hauler, just giving you guys an update. And from where I was driving it before with the trailer, it looks like it's a realistic truck before I had the polished fenders on it, because it flung that up going, it spun out quite a bit in a little bit of dirt I had in our driveway. Which wasn't really dirt, it was more moist dirt, which it did all this and it flung it all the way up over the top. So I left it there because it looks realistic. Looks like an actual work truck basically. And as you can see with my tires, they're dirty. Also, from where they've went through the stuff. But yeah.